also in the back? Very good. Then it's that. Okay. And I hope also on the hybrid in the online world, I can be heard quite good. So good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I'm not sure where you're joining. Here it's probably not Italy, it's good morning, so it's easy. And yeah, my name is Gergely Rakoczi, TU Wien in Austria, and I'm there the head of the Digital Teaching and Learning Service Unit, and their Moodle, the learning management system. I'm the product owner sort of there, and I was thinking about during COVID, of course, I'm guessing at your university as well, a lot of changes occurred, also at our universities. Suddenly there was sometimes more money, more people who could work with, and development happened. And the question was, okay, all those things that we have developed changed a little bit the world. We were teaching. Digital teaching tools became more and more important, and the question was, okay, after COVID, how should we proceed? What are the interesting things? And the goal of this talk is that I provide you a picture of what we are thinking at TU might be the challenges, the questions that are raising. So here I try to summarize all my paper into one image. I hope it can be seen. So I've shared my presentation also with the conference organizers, so maybe it will be uploaded as well. If not, just write me an email and I send you the presentation as well. So basically the main points are usability, also of course what role it has, AI of course a huge term in the last couple of months, scalability, virtual reality, etc. So these will be the topics I will talk today. And just one slide about my background. So our learning management system is Moodle based. It's here for 17 years. So for computer software, it's not that short time I found out. So almost 20 years that we are servicing it. And we have 30,000 active users. So it's quite a large installation, actively used. And it's the central and hopefully the only official platform at the university. And here we did a lot of thoughts. How can we improve this platform, not just next year, in 2 years, but also the decades to come. So this will be the talk. And now we'll go through these aspects one by one. And the first, we thought, okay, what should be the role? And we say it would be great if it would be the central hub for digital teaching and learning, so that the teachers and the students don't have to think a lot about which platform they are joining for collaborating, talking, etc., and sharing experiences and learning together. This should be the single point of access, sort of. They go there, and from them, different activities, communication channels, etc., emerge. So basically, there should be this central point. This should be the entry point for the learning. This is what our goal will be. That means sometimes getting tools, systems into the LMS, and this should be as best interlinked. This would be great. And if it would be on international standards, it would be even better. And this will be probably one of the challenges, of course, having a lot of different systems out there in the world, but sometimes they're not connected, sometimes they're designed not to be connected because of market interests, etc. So this is a challenge. Therefore, we are quite happy with Moodle because it's open source. Open source, you can see the code, you can develop something at your university for Moodle, share it with others, but also for lecture recording, etc. There are tools available on open source basis, and this is something that we are looking for in the future, to extend this open source idea and exchange with other universities in Austria, in Europe, in the German, Swiss, Austrian region, for example. But it would be, of course, great if it would be in Europe or even worldwide. So the role for LMS, it would be great if it would be a hub, like a Swiss Army knife, helpful tool for everything. And sometimes I'm dreaming, maybe, okay, so don't worry about that, but this is something I try to express in this paper. Artificial intelligence, I think ChatGPT is the term that we hear so often. Also, I believe it will be a huge impact on LMS systems in the future and helping us to personalize learning experiences more. And here I've the second point, AI boosted tutorial systems would be great. Currently, what do we have? We have forums where teachers or tutors have to answer if students have questions. It would be a great opportunity, for example, an AI tutor would answer first, because it has the data of the course, it has the data from the last year's semesters, so it can have a lot of training data. And then the first step would be an intelligent and good answer. And ChatGPT has shown us that this is actually possible. So for the next decades, I'm quite sure here we will have great improvements. Yes, easier content creation. You can also see like Midjourney and other tools, for example, artificial intelligence. Creating images from text prompts is quite easy nowadays, and this would also support teachers, I guess, creating content. Maybe they just write a little text script, what they want to teach about, and say, okay, generate, for example, images for that, or a video, or something else. And also in terms of AI, we have to rethink a little bit e-assessment. To be honest, in my own course, I had also one exercise was, please, dear students, write an essay about this or this e-learning tool, for example, and then I read it and we can discuss it. Now writing papers, by students, they can ask ChatGPT, please write me a paper, blah, 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 and then they have it in 5 minutes. So I have to rethink this, and I guess the whole higher education system has to be rethinking. It does not mean that it will die, but we have to think about it. On this slide, I tried to show you all these AI tools I have used. So in the left column, links. So if the presentation is available for you, this is something I have tested, and these are great tools for generating images, for text. If you have, for example, a test and you want to create text, and you want to create audio out of it, or video avatars, so talking head videos, it's sometimes, but currently it's quite easy. So I'm not quite sure if the resolution is good enough for pictures, but if you would like to have it later on, just write me an email or hand me your card over a coffee break, a lunch break, etc. I'm happy to share it with you, and you can see as well there are lots of recommendations also in social media as well. Like, these are the best tools. So teachers are starting to share all these good experiences with AI, and there are new tools every day. So is my expression of my feeling about it. Also, virtual reality, of course, will be an influence here. Especially the second point is where I'm really looking forward. So the haptic experience. Currently, the haptic, to touch something, is very often really in a physical room where you go there with the teacher, where you experience deal with some substance, or I don't know what materials. Here in the future, I think like having such a glove and your headset that you can put on, again, as a starting point, the learning management system, where the learning management system say, okay, now please put on your headset, get your clothes on, and go into the virtual reality world, and then you are there and can experience these driving scenarios, materials, excursions, whatever. So there I think is huge potential, and also meeting. Not just like Zoom sessions, what we have currently, but a little bit more where you can be more interactive. Again, Apple presented this new headset they are planning, so I'm quite sure that will happen here a lot. And if you think back 20 years, Zoom session in this quality we'll have today, it was not thinkable. And currently here we are. So Zoom sessions are, or web conference sessions in general, are here to come and stay, and I think they will be improved in the future as well. One of the great possibilities here in terms of inclusion and accessibility is faster and better transcoding of data is unbelievable. For example, at our university, we are training AI, artificial intelligence, to translate, to get out of voice the subtitles, and then translate the subtitles as live and synchronous as possible. It's getting better and better. In Austria and Germany, Switzerland, we have dialects. So sometimes if somebody talking a little bit, a little different German, it's not that perfect, but it's improving, and we can see it. And my dream, and this is actually something that I've heard 2 weeks ago in another conference, they're working on live audio translation. So, for example, the voice of the teacher is digitalized to text, subtitles, translated, and with AI, speech output is given, so that in the almost simultaneously you can hear the teacher in a different language speaking, but the future will adhere to the term voice mode. So if, for example, the teacher is coming to the university, there will be an onboarding process. For example, he has to read 2 or 3 hours a text. Then you have training data of his voice. And then you can translate this to different languages, but in his voice. So in the future, I'm quite sure we will have a teacher talking not natively in, for example, German, but student can to switch hearing him in his voice or her voice in English, Spanish. So I'm quite sure that this will happen and will enable us learning without these language barriers we currently have. And courses, for example, currently have to be translated, for example, from German to English. It's a large process, money is involved, and here AI tools will, I'm quite sure they will boost this. Usability, for example, again, here AI will be the key probably. That, for example, a student says, okay, this course has 7 PDFs. I don't want to read 7 PDFs. Dear AI tutor, please translate this or create out of this PDF, for example, a nice video, talking head video, or give me a nice voice to that. This is quite possible that it will happen, I think. So, and then you have this user-centered design. The student, for example, as having profile settings, for example, they can also say in their profiles, okay, I prefer videos over, for example, text, or I would like to translate this into talking heads communication, like a score package or something like that. And also currently we have, for example, teachers who make a 2-hour session, the session is recorded, and the entire 2-hour video is then provided in the course. And of course, from a pedagogical perspective, didactic perspective, it would be great to have this video, these 2-hour videos, for example, set up in 7-10 minutes sessions, the nudging of the content. And here again, AI, currently we have segmentation based on the slides, for example, etc. But sometimes it's not that precise. And AI tools could boost this as well, that you say, okay, in the next 10 minutes, we can cut off these parts. And the next part will be about another topic of his talk. And then it's prepared in a better learning experience for the students. And this would support the individual needs and skills. So this is where, again, I'm dreaming a little bit, but maybe it's not that far away. So a couple of years, decades, and then we are there. And scalability. To be honest, currently it's really difficult for teachers. This is all the time what I get as a feedback, hybrid sessions. So basically, if you are in a lecture hall, it's working good. If you are all in a remote session, Zoom session, for example, it's working good. But if you, as a teacher, have to cover both worlds really interactively with a lot of passion and raising questions, then it's absolutely demanding. And if you have, for example, assistants supporting people, then it's great. But yeah, not all universities have the budgets and all the people to support. And here I hope again that AI will support setting to the teacher and support him or her during these hybrid sessions. And of course, we have sometimes currently lots of dependencies on hardware because there are interests of the private sector, of the manufacturers, of course. It would be great if this could be decreased. Big data, analytics, for example, analytics are a university. We try to tackle the problem of dropout students. So basically showing them, okay, you are here compared to your other 700, for example, students, because they have peers. Within the 6-7 peers, they're talking with each other, but sometimes this is not the complete picture. Especially, for example, at my university, informatics, there we have 1,000 students starting each year. Then you need comparison more than to your peers. And here, these analytics help a lot. So there is a lot happening right now. And the last point, of course, sustainable and green service operation will be key because more and more systems are here, servers, etc. And here we have to think also, of course, there it needs energy, how the energy is produced in these cities, etc. And this tackles also really with the elements as well. Yeah, and I'm at my last slide. As I've mentioned, sometimes I was a little bit dreaming where the future elements will go. I hope for a better learning world. So if you have questions, would like to share your ideas, yeah, we are welcome to the question here. I'm not quite sure how much time we have. Otherwise, lunch breaks, coffee breaks, I think we
Before we have questions, we punch for applause. Well, I think the next.